Hey everybody, welcome to Snow Talk. Way Through News meteorologist Brian Good here on this Tuesday, trying to get you guys updated on the pattern overall in the long term. Mainly going to focus at least an overview of the system for this weekend, and then the other items, which you see here on the snowboard, getting closer to Christmas week. We'll discuss a little more probably in the coming days, but not today. But we do have several systems that are moving our way. The one thing I do see is that the warm air, the southeast corner of the country, that southeast ridge, is really going to try to battle us out for the last part of December here, and that is going to lead to more headaches than anything, but may very well end the chance for a white Christmas for several people in our neck of the woods, but it's going to be close. And again, we'll discuss that more in the coming days. All right, let's talk about what's happening now. We've had quite a bit of freezing rain across Indiana, especially from around, say, Salem through Seymour, North Vernon, Austin, Indiana, through Madison. Good glaze of ice this morning from that freezing rain that came through. Very little in the way of snow. Most of that's been closer to Indianapolis, where they're about a half inch now, is where they stand. Another wave in our southern county, so those of you to the south may see a bit of a mix at the onset, especially in Grayson and Hart County, but temperatures are beginning to warm even in that area, so not a big deal. Overall, this is a minor event. We now look to the west. This is where our system for the weekend is now taking shape. And look at that energy just diving into California. And usually for us, that's a signal for a warm system in our area versus a cold one, given its setup here, bashing into the west coast. More of an El Nino look to it. But look at the models here. This is going to take us into Friday night, where this is the GFS, it's the Euro, Canadian, and the ensembles of those same models. This is the rain snow line. I know it's hard to see Kentucky, but Kentucky is right in here in each one of these graphics. What I want you to understand is that warm front is right in through here. So temperatures on Friday will likely be in the 30s. But Friday night, we should see a decent amount of warming through the overnight period. There was some concern we could see some frozen precipitation as that warm surge moves in. Chances are that's going to be limited to outside of our area, mainly across Indiana, Indianapolis area. I think for us, maybe some rain showers with that warm surge. And then we deal with very warm air, as you'll see in a few moments, 60s across parts of Kentucky. And likely a break in the rain. We'll have rain in the morning with the warm front. I think we'll see a break in the afternoon period with some strong gusty winds and temperatures in the 60s. It's going to just feel pleasant, really, for a lot of us out there. And then we get the reality. Saturday night, the front moves in with rain and some thunderstorms, potentially with that as well. And then the question is, how much of that cold air is going to catch the actual moisture band that's leaving us? And this is where the model's going to go crazy. Here's the GFS, and at the moment I think the GFS has the best idea compared to the others I've seen. Now, I've seen the other ones. I know there are some dramatic looks to some of them, and I exercise caution on that, because one thing I want you to keep in mind is we're going from a typical scenario of warm air, rain and thunder, cold air catches it, ends as snow. That's a very common theme for us. Some of the other setups that are being projected out there are way more extreme and odd. They can happen, but they're very odd for our area to see happen, and I'm talking about in terms of ice and everything. So let's look at this GFS. As we into Saturday night, here comes that band of rain. Temperatures at that point is waiting to even the midnight hours Saturday night, still in the 50s, but you can see where we were earlier in the day in that 60-degree range, perhaps even mid-60s in our southeast counties. Look at the cold air, though, rushing in. Even when you look at temperatures aloft, this blue line across the state is the rain-snow line. This is going to be about, I would say, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning Saturday night. It's already at the point now where the cold air is caught up with the rain band. Temperatures at the ground level down to 30. We were in the 50s just a few hours before that, down to 30. And this is where I have some concern with temperatures really crashing into the area. GFS does bring at least a brief period of snow. Now, if the cold air on the ground level gets here too fast versus the cold air above, then yeah, you get freezing rain for a little bit. At this point, it should be a traditional cold air at the ground level and surface at the same time moving in, which means we go into a period of snow. I think that's more likely to happen. Still early in the game. There's no sense in getting specific this early. It's only Tuesday. But this is just an overview. One thing I will think is going to become a factor as we get closer, though, is with the rain that we're going to have, a decent amount of rain Saturday night, and this cold air rushing in, we've got to watch the wind. At the moment, it's not showing a lot of wind initially. Some wind eventually does kick in Sunday morning, but my concern there would be a flash freeze kind of deal. If we crash too quickly Saturday night, Sunday morning, to and below the freezing mark, it wouldn't surprise me to run into problems. There was so much rain that we picked up Saturday night to run into ice issues just from the drop in temperature alone, not so much falling from the sky. Something to watch. If we get the winds high enough, that won't be as much of a factor. The wind will do a number on the roads and dry things out rapidly. But it is something that at least bears watching. All right, so that's it for now, guys. We'll talk much more about the longer term closer to Christmas and beyond coming up tomorrow. But at least I want to mention the system for the weekend, and that's the one that deserves our attention for now. Have a good one.